Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Derek, and I'm joined by Karen, and we are going to be discussing what's happened on GH from November 25th to December 6th, 2024. So, Tommy will roll the credits, and we'll get started. All right, so let's get right into it. We took a little break for Thanksgiving, but thank you so much for coming back and joining us. GH apparently decided to avoid Thanksgiving, so that was interesting.
Are you saying we avoided Thanksgiving because General Hospital avoided Thanksgiving?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they avoided it.
I can't tell you how disappointed I am that there was no Thanksgiving episode this year. I look forward to that every year.
Mm-hmm.
And to have that not happen in favor of still dealing with the funeral stuff and then rushing the trial with Ava, I don't. I really would have preferred a break, do the Thanksgiving episode, and then
the trial. Yeah, mm-hmm. I think we're on the same page. Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll start with Lulu. So I did enjoy these scenes a lot, even though they were completely unrealistic with her making up and being able to walk and leave the facility. And it was fun to watch, though. And I really like this Lulu. I like Alexa Havens. I think she reminds me of Julie Marie Berman a lot.
This was a very Luke Spencer type storyline where he's just someone can, and she's a Spencer, so it counts. She miraculously wakes up. She gets out of bed. She roams around the town. She runs into people like the ghost of Christmas past. And it's just a really, really entertaining. And I do think she's doing a great job as portraying Lulu.
Yeah, and she looks the part, and I think she does a great job. I knew she would be a good fit.
Yeah, you were telling me because I hadn't seen her before. And she just settled right into the role. I thought her scenes were very poignant. And we were like, oh, let's take a break for Thanksgiving. And then those 3 episodes were epic. And I was so mad.
I know. They were epic, though. They were really good. They were the best 3 episodes of the entire month, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did enjoy Lulu hitchhiking with Cody. But it's funny because somebody brought up on Reddit that Cody had seen Lulu before. He's seen her face in the hospital. So it's funny that he didn't recognize her.
I think it's different seeing somebody in a bed with a respirator on and blankets up to your chest and all the gear around you, and someone hopping into your car and being like, "Oh, this is absolutely the blonde I assume is still in a coma in a hospital." Like, I don't know. I get it. I understand why. I love the Reddit board. I get it why they would think that, and they're kind of right. But at the same time, do they really think Cody's that observant, or you think Cody was just there to support his family?
Yeah, I agree with you. So Lulu takes a little trip to her old house, finds the key underneath the, I guess a pot it was, and she encounters young James, and that was a great scene. Stranger danger, so funny.
He's adorable. She just comes in and he's like, "What are you doing in my house?"
I live at 24 Cherry Lane. Where do you live? That's here.
My house.
My house. Oh, I enjoyed those scenes a lot. So we also have Lucky and Liz getting a call from Turning Woods, and they're finding out that Lulu is now missing, and they watch the security footage. And Lucky confronts Cyrus, and I enjoyed those scenes a lot as well.
I thought it was absolutely ridiculous that this woman got out of her bed. No alarms went off. She got out into the hallway. She stole someone's clothes. She slipped into a hallway. She pulled a fire alarm, and nobody at the hospital was like...
They don't have any idea what was going on.
No. And I get after the fire alarm went off, they were concentrating on getting the patients out and all. But shouldn't she have been on a heart monitor? Shouldn't somebody have been paying attention? Like, when she pulled all the wires off, shouldn't something have gone off somewhere?
You would think, right?
Turning Woods really needs to be evaluated, and everyone needs to be written up because they did a horrific job of keeping.
And apparently, this facility is better than the last facility she was at. So I don't know about that.
The other thing too is like just the ability for Cyrus to just walk in there, tell everyone he was her uncle and start making changes to her care with no paperwork filed. What was that? Like, it's like, did he pay everyone
I
off?
think he has somebody under his thumb there because he was
Yeah.
orderly.
Because he was just like, I'm her uncle, and we're going to be moving her to a secure facility in the middle of nowhere. And her mom isn't here, and her brother isn't here, and nobody knows about it, but it's cool, right?
Yeah, he was ready to transfer to South Carolina. Lulu overheard. She was like, "No, I'm getting out of here."
Yeah, but I mean, it would have been kind of cool if she had escaped into a wheelchair and taken the elevator out. Would have been. I don't care. It was fun. Who cares? It's a soap after all. But it was it was so unbelievable, but it was so fun.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy Lucky and Lulu's reunion. That was really sweet. It was good to see them, in a scene together after all these years. I don't even remember the last time they had a scene. It was probably in the 2000s.
Well, considering you'd have to remember a different Lucky, and a different Lulu, it's going to be a little hard to put that together. But it was years ago.
Sure. It was a really long time. So it was very cool to see them together.
I think the last time they were together, Lucky was Jacob Young. So
really, it's been that long? Oh my gosh.
I think so. I think so. Like, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah. So Lucky updates Lulu on all the goings on since she's been in a coma for the last 4 years, and she lets her know that Luke passed away.
Do you know they still haven't mentioned that Bobby's dead?
They still have not. No. Nothing about Bobby yet. She doesn't. She found out about Sam though, and her giving her the donation.
In 4 years, Lulu found, like, Lulu's father died, her aunt died, her nephew died, her cousin's in prison, her half brother's in prison.
She knows about Spencer from Laura because that lovely scene.
She finds out about Ace. Yeah. The thing that was weird is, like, all this is happening, and we're supposed to believe that Laura's unreachable. Like, Laura's unreachable for the first couple days of Lulu running around town, which is obviously all a couple hours, so like it makes it make a little more sense. Right. But she was in a meeting at work and could not be disturbed. Meanwhile, her daughter is hitchhiking to the Quartermain mansion.
Yes. And I think you brought this up in one of our text messages where Laura wouldn't just leave and go to work. She would be hunting for Lulu.
Yeah. She would have, first off, she would have been at her bedside the entire time. Yeah. She just had surgery. She'd be there. So, like, to me, it was, and I know she's the mayor, so obviously we can make some leeway for that. But I can't see Laura leaving her there that early on after the surgery, especially after Sam died. Like, she would be twice as worried.
Yeah.
I don't know. It worked, but also I kind of wish that Laura had been there the entire time, because Laura finds out halfway through just in time to panic and have Anna panic and have everybody put Bolo out to find Lulu. Meanwhile, Lulu's gone to her old house. She's seen James. She's met Cody and shared lollipops with him. She's ended up at the Quartermain mansion and runs right into Rocco. And, like, she's just like, oh my God, Rocco's the man,
Yeah, that was great. And she knew instantly, even though he's aged a few years, that it was Rocco. Yeah.
She's like, you're so big. Because he is.
Yeah.
He is. You know how kids are. They shoot up like a foot in the summer, and this kid is tall.
And that's when she realizes how much time has actually gone by.
Yeah, they did a great job of having her realize that in the moment, because there's no way you can deny that your son has aged.
Yeah.
And they are very sweet together. He just can't handle it. He's so happy, so excited. And, she's kind of limping at this point because she should be on anti-organ rejection medication, and she should be in a hospital.
And I love Danny's little, overhearing them and being happy for Rocco, but also upset about losing his own mother. And I really enjoy, I don't normally enjoy Carly a lot. She's okay. But I really enjoyed her comforting Danny. I thought that was very sweet.
When it comes to family, Carly is very good at being comforting. She's very caring when it comes to her own people. And, obviously Danny is Jason's son, so she loves him like family. And the two of them trying to care about Danny's feelings when Jason is always emotionally constipated.
Yeah.
And like Laura has, like Laura Wright just does a really great job of kind of sliding
Mhm.
in there, and Carly just says all the right things. And
Yeah.
it was very sweet. I agree. I think they did a
Mhm.
really nice job of showing the dichotomy between the two boys, because
Mhm.
Rocco got what he wanted and Danny lost everything. And then Danny was like, how can I be happy for him when I'm miserable for me? And Carly's like, don't try to hide the fact that you're feeling both things. Love is complicated. Life is
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah, and she's
And I
correct.
she is, and it was really well written. I
It is
really
very
enjoyed that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. And like I said, like I don't normally Carly kind of annoys me, but like she's great was great there.
Listen, most of the time I enjoy Carly unless Carly is in a scene with Sonny. And then I don't I know they were like a super couple for like forever. I just never enjoy them together. I
Yeah.
love her in with Brennan. So this
Mhm.
is fine. I like her. I think she's tough because she's very hypocritical and
And I wanna say
annoying
I do think that Carly has had the most character development since she
sometimes.
started. But yeah, sometimes. But like overall, there's different phases of Carly. You have Sarah Brown phase, you have Tara Meyer Braun phase, and you have Laura Wright phase. And Sarah Brown was, the brat, the spoiled,
Even
scheming
though she
one.
wasn't spoiled,
No, she
she
wasn't.
she had a terrible upbringing and she
Yeah,
blamed it all on Bobby.
yeah.
But when she came to town, instead of getting to know Bobby, she just came and was like, "I'm going to destroy her life,"
Mhm.
which was very cool at the time. Except she accidentally destroyed AJ's life in the process, and I'm still not over it.
Yes. Okay, so Laura and Lulu also reunite, and she reunites with Kevin as well, and I did enjoy those scenes as well. Those were fun.
Kevin was so cute. He
Yeah,
was just like he was a little overwhelmed, and he was just like trying to be helpful and
mhm,
kind and like not too much, because obviously a lot is
mhm,
happening. And he's just like, if you ever need to talk, I'm here. I'm here to help. He's just the
mhm.
most supportive man, which is such a difference from the crazy person who came to town.
Yeah, and Lucky kinda just disappeared from the scene. We don't know what happened to him because he was there when Laura came home, and all of a sudden he's gone, so I don't know. They didn't
he,
even explain it.
he was just like, well, you guys are together. Nobody needs me in this scene. I'm going to take a
It's like,
bathroom break.
We can't Jonathan Jackson needs this episode off, so alright, he's just, not gonna appear.
Well, the other thing we need to add too is that Dante um,
Mhm.
came in while Rocco was with Lulu, and poor Dante was in shock the entire time. He's a little dazed and a little disconnected the entire time he's talking to her, and I don't even think he realized he was in shock until
Mhm.
after he dropped Lulu off at Laura's, and then he went to go drinking with Cody, and he was just like, I don't know what to do.
Right?
It was really well played. He
It
was just
really was.
I loved it because this is a very complicated scenario that he finds himself in, because he
Mhm.
was in love with Lulu, and even though their relationship had ended, it was kind of on the brink of restarting
Mhm.
when Dustin died and when all of that happened, because Dustin wanted to marry her, and she wasn't going to marry him. She was still in love with Dante. So like for her, that was yesterday.
Mhm.
So it's tough.
True. Yeah. Alright, so let's get into Michael and Curtis. So I enjoyed this a lot. Uh, Michael records Drew saying he's going to make Michael the CEO, and he never intended to give Curtis a position. And he plays the recording for Curtis, which is very Quartermain, and I loved it.
This is so amazing because Michael's just like, I'm just going to record whatever he says to me because I know he's dumb enough to try and get out of this Willow situation by bribing me and
Mhm,
screwing Curtis. And he just, so Quartermain, he just puts the phone on record and puts it down on the table. And,
mhm.
and he stands there. Drew stands there like a dummy. And he's just like, yeah, well, Curtis is a good friend and all, but he's not a Quartermain. And it's like, that guy was in your corner. He was your teammate. He would have done anything for you. And
Yeah.
then for Michael to play it for him,
Mhm.
yeah, classic Quartermain shenanigans. So happy.
It was great. So fun. Um, let's see. So Jason and Anna and Spinelli are on the search for Valentine still, and Carly has planted a bug in Brennan's office, and
Yep.
and Jason was very upset about this because he thinks it's going to make Carly a target.
Well, Carly only agreed to do it because she doesn't believe that Brennan knows where Valentine is. She's wrong. He
No,
does.
he
But
does.
she wants to believe in him because he's been nothing but helpful and flirty with her, and she wants to like him. But she only likes bad boys, and she should know this about herself by now.
She should definitely. And there were a few scenes between Jason and Anna. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think this whole little romantic thing they have is kind of tossed to the wayside at this point.
I don't know. I don't know if it ever was going to be a thing. I think they had a moment.
Right.
Fans had a reaction to it of no,
No.
and people moved on. I'm not 100% against it. If it did go through and it did happen, I don't care. If Drew can date the mother, the daughter, everyone that's ever met Willow in relation to Willow, because he has, then I don't see why Anna couldn't date Jason 20 years after Anna's daughter dated Jason. And also the age difference between them isn't big enough for me to care. The one thing I did like is that he read her for filth for how guilty she feels about letting Valentine go and the whole thing with Charlotte. And now with a little distance, she realizes that she gave Valentine so much leeway because she felt so guilty about shooting Charlotte.
Yes.
And now she feels desperately guilty because Lulu's awake and her daughter's in the wind.
And she wants to give her daughter back, yeah.
But Anna, has always been that way. She takes on everything. Everything is her fault. But you can't control everything that way. There's no way she would have known the variables in the scenario like that. Come on.
Yeah.
Nobody thought Lulu was ever going to wake up. I don't even know why they gave her a liver. I don't.
Yeah. But I'm glad she did. It's great.
I'm not saying I'm not happy about it. I'm saying, if this show had an ounce of reality, they would have been like, this is a waste of time. Let the woman die. And, the insurance never would have covered any of this.
No.
But I'm glad she's awake.
So Sasha goes over to Maxie's, and long story short, she takes a pregnancy test, and Sasha is pregnant with Michael's child.
I feel bad for Sasha.
I do too, and it was very predictable. But now I'm wondering where they're going to go with Michael now that he's getting.
I don't like Sasha with Michael, so. But maybe
I don't like Willow either. So.
It's not that I don't like him with Willow. It's just that they haven't been very good at writing them a couple storyline. You know how Mac and Felicia almost always had a couple storyline where they do everything together?
You are correct.
It seems like Willow and Michael are always at opposite ends of the world. And they just meet up for dinner. And that's a very boring way to have a couple.
You're right. You're that you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly right. Yeah.
But I liked Sasha with Cody. I thought they had wild chemistry. I was really invested in them. And then they were just like, hey, screw you. Your ship is now gross. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
So Brooklyn and Chase are working on having a family and spending a lot of time in the bedroom. That was cute.
Cute. It's also gross because everyone in the family is like, look at them running around to have sex, and it's like, mind your business. This is weird.
Even Gio was privy to this, and I'm like, this is so inappropriate.
Right. I know, but you know what? It always is when you announce to somebody that you're trying for a baby. I mean, you're literally just saying, we're going to go have sex an awful lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Good, I guess, for you. I don't need to know. Just tell me when you're pregnant. I don't need to know.
Right.
But it is cute, and I do like the little romantic scenes between Chase and Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn, and she's always kind of on the edge of other people's storylines, which I think is unfair to her. She's very talented, and she needs to be more center-facing, I think.
Yes.
But not with where the storyline's going, because this whole Gio being her son thing that they seem to keep hinting at, I hate it.
I don't want that to be the case.
I hate it. Not everybody has to be related.
No.
But they have been hinting at it with Lois.
They have.
So
I'm seeing the signs too, and I'm not digging it.
I can follow your breadcrumbs, people.
Yeah. Okay, so the trial took up most of these episodes, and so I don't even know where to start with this because you had Natalia committing perjury, you had Christina losing it on the stand, you had so many things happening at this trial, and it was it was draining. Like for me, it was draining.
Well, I was having a great time because Rick is an awesome lawyer.
Oh, it was great watching Rick. I do
Yeah.
agree with that.
Rick was amazing. Rick called everybody on the carpet. He
Mhm.
knew Natalia was lying. She's not a good liar.
Mhm.
He just really just laid everything out the way it exactly is that these two people should never have been in the same room together. And what happened was a tragic accident. And he
Mhm.
just played that case out. And
Mhm.
Christina was crazy on stand, and we knew that was going to happen.
Yes.
Natalia lied on stand because she wanted to get brownie points with Sonny, and she did.
Mhm.
And it was just ridiculous. And I loved Ava's testimony
I do
because,
too. That was the best part for me.
yeah, and you know what? Ava does turn it on, and Ava is full of crap a lot of the time, but she is really damaged from what happened between her and her daughter, and she wouldn't throw a pregnant woman out a window.
No, she definitely wouldn't.
She'd arrange for somebody else to throw the pregnant woman out the window. She's not stupid.
You are correct. I wanted more with Christina. I wanted Rick to break her more because you know how I feel about Christina, but I feel like it wasn't enough for me. But but he broke her enough. But I was like, I want more. I want her to like. I want her. I really want Christina to admit that she was going to keep the baby, and she didn't think anything was wrong with that. I really want her to say
She basically admitted that to her sister at the end of the week. But
that. Yeah, we did get to that. Yes,
before we get there, I think adjacent to the trial is obviously the TJ and Molly storyline.
just so
Um,
sad.
it's sad. And I continue to think that the problem between them is that TJ mourns one way, Molly mourns another, but TJ can't accept the fact that she mourns differently from him and basically not on purpose, but punishes her for it.
He does.
And every time he does that, she retreats more because she doesn't feel safe enough to talk to him about everything or anything because she doesn't want to talk about it. And he's like, but you have to, and you have to do it now. He's not giving her the space
That she
to
needs.
that she needs, but also she's not giving him the understanding that he needs. Maybe she can't, maybe he can't. But the thing is, they've crapped on their entire relationship. He had to be convinced to go to that trial by Stella, by his mother. He was
Mm-hmm.
going to leave her in that courtroom alone to deal with all of that alone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I can't be re-traumatized. And, so I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to go. And she said I didn't have to go. I'm like, of course she's going to say you don't have to go. She doesn't want to force you into a scenario where you're more miserable. She would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then
thought
what happens, man?
I thought she was being very unfair. I really do. I was
Grief
not.
is unfair.
Yeah.
And I do think I agree with you. I think he's being incredibly unfair to her, and he's entitled to his feelings. He's entitled to the way he sees the scenario. But the
Mm-hmm.
writing on the wall for their relationship was during this
It's
week.
been coming for a long time. Yeah. And I don't like it just because it makes Christina right. But
Christina's not right.
yeah.
Christina's not right. What Christina did was a self-fulfilling prophecy. She
Mm-hmm.
decided on how the thing was going to end, and she made it happen by ruining everything. She put stress on their relationship. She put stress
Mm-hmm.
on her relationship with her mother. She put stress on her relationship with her sister. She was going to steal TJ's baby. Nothing Christina did was right.
No,
Nothing.
nothing.
Going to Ava's hotel room, wrong. Every decision she has made has been over emotional and incorrect. And now she's
Mm-hmm.
almost like gaslighting herself into believing a different version of history and having basically disassociative episodes and then coming back to it and being like, yep, I was right. That's what happened. And it's like, that's not what happened. And everyone's watching her melt down and not doing a damn thing about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it was sad. And I love the scene at the end where Molly's on one side of the door and then TJ's on the other side of the door and they're both in collapse. I thought that was a great shot. I love the way that scene played out. That was
I
good.
think it was very beautiful.
It was
And if they had
beautiful.
left it
Mhm.
there, I would have been 100% like, okay, they broke up and it's sad. But then when he took her diary and took it back to her, he was an ass in that scene. And I was just like, I can't get behind him anymore, because it's like he brought the diary back to her, which was very sweet.
It was very.
And I thought could have been a great moment where they're just like, okay, we have irreconcilable differences, but we'll always love one another. But then he basically threw crap in her face again. And at that end, like he's like, you're just moving on and you don't have any emotions and you don't care, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah. Horrible.
it was sad.
Yeah. And I want to add, I was so angry at him for bringing up having another child when Molly just lost they just lost the baby, and she just lost her sister. Yeah, second baby. And she just lost her sister. And you want to bring up having a child now. How incredibly selfish.
So that's one of the things that drives me yes, that's what drives me crazy, is like the timeline is they had a surrogate, the surrogate lost the baby. They had a new surrogate, the surrogate tried to steal the baby. Their sister was supposed to do a routine organ transplant. She died. There's a trial for whether or not another woman is responsible for the death of their baby that her sister was going to steal. She hasn't had 5 seconds to process anything. And he's like, yes, but in the future, we'll just get another surrogate. We'll have more children and it'll be fine. And she's just like, I don't even think I want to do this again.
No,
like, she said,
I don't
nothing.
blame her.
Yeah, tragedy, 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 tragedy.
Why would she want to? Why would I don't? There's no reason why Molly would want to have another child. She's done.
Even if she decided to adopt, remember, TJ was against adoption from the beginning because he wanted the baby to be a part of them, and then found out it couldn't be a part of her, but it still could be a part of him. And she was going to do that for him. And he just keeps thinking that she can go through all of these emotions multiple times, because he's like, end result is we get the family we wanted. But the thing is, I always thought from the beginning, when she didn't want to get married and he wanted to get married and they settled on the domestic partnership, it's always kind of been that TJ is not getting what he wants out of the relationship because he keeps settling for what Molly is able to give him. And I think this was one mountain too far. He just can't give up the idea that he wants a family. But also, it's too soon to have this conversation. The baby died and was buried last week. Her sister died and was buried last week.
Yeah,
insane.
Insane.
But I get it. Like, I'm not saying TJ's a villain. I don't think he's even a bad person. I just think his way of moving on and her way of moving on are completely like different. And a lot of times in a relationship, when a child dies, the couple breaks apart.
Yeah. So the verdict is read and Ava is found not guilty, which
of course she is.
Well, yeah. I mean, TJ and Molly, of course, have a rift because of that. And he says, you're not grieving. You're done. Like, you believe it's an accident. I don't agree with you. It's over.
He basically calls her emotionless.
He does. You have no emotion.
Yeah. And she does. She just doesn't show them the way he wants her to.
Exactly. The same problem they have from the beginning. She doesn't accept the way she grieves. Yeah. And then Christina and Molly get into it, and I wanted to smack Christina across the face when I guess she's not really Adela's mother.
She got in her face because what Molly said was, it is the verdict is what it should have been. It was a tragic accident. It never should have happened. It was an accident, and we need to accept that and move on. And Christina is just like, the reason you feel that way is because you were never going to be a real mother. And the fact that Molly did not punch her in the face is a supreme act of self-control.
I agree.
And she was just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with you. And the whole time, of course, Alexis is like, Molly, no. But she's still not standing up for Molly. She's still basically supporting Christina in this moment.
She is. Totally unfair.
Also is Sunny. Sunny has been this entire week. Okay, first off, Carly and Sunny are just backup characters in the last 2 weeks.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. So Sunny is just like rubber stamping everything Christina says, which is not helping.
No.
And when the verdict was read, Christina basically disassociated from reality. She rebooted. She sat there and they couldn't even get her attention for several minutes because she was just out. She had disassociated completely. They finally get her back, and it's like, oh my God, this person needs mental health help immediately. And they're like, it's fine. She'll be all right. Like, she's having a psychotic break right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do something. Help her.
Yeah.
They're going to help her, but she's going to become part of the mob. She's going to start killing people. She's going to try and kill Ava. I bet you.
I know she will. I think that's where they're headed. Yeah. I don't know. Christina, you know how I feel about Christina.
Molly killed it this week, though. Molly killed it. The actress who plays Molly, she was really on point.
Let me just tell you, I have fallen in love with Kristen Bagnos' portrayal of Molly. I absolutely adore her. I think she's amazing.
Wonderful.
I think she's a fantastic actress. I love her.
It's been really impressive watching her take on the role because I really was a big fan of Haley. So watching the role get taken over, I was kind of like, but she's just minute by minute, she's just made the character her own. She had the chemistry with TJ. She felt right into the Davis family very well. I like her a lot. And she's just suffering in this role. It must be, I mean, it's a great part, but emotionally it's gotta be.
It's probably hard to play, for sure. But I just adore her. I can't even say so many. I have so many good things to say about her.
Impressive. I hope she puts herself in and she gets an Emmy. I do.
She deserves it. Especially
here's the thing. So does Christina. Like she is also killing it. We just don't like what she's doing.
Correct. She's a fantastic actress. I mean, for sure. Do I like her character? No, but I'm not supposed to like her character.
No, not right now. Not when she's going off the rails. You're supposed to watch it like a train wreck, and we are. Exactly. I did like that after TJ and Molly broke up, Rick came. And he wouldn't leave even though she didn't want him to be there because he wanted to support her. And he continues to be a very supportive father, even if what he did isn't exactly what she wanted him to do. He did it for her, like, because he knows he suffered for years blaming Sonny for things and it never did him any good.
Yeah.
So he's like, don't live in revenge. And he really did this to kind of push her out of it. I think he also likes Ava.
He does.
Because Ava is a town pariah, and so is he.
Yeah, that's been one of the highlights since lately is Rick. Since he's been back.
Rick's great. I love him.
Having him back has been such a treat.
It's been, really has.
Yeah,
it really has. I love having him on. Actually, I'm enjoying Lucky too. I think they're using him a little sparingly. I wish he was a little more involved. But I did love that he and Liz fell back into the detective team duo they used to be. That was fun.
Yeah, that was cute. I like that.
You know, I enjoyed that. And also he said he was going to stay in town because he's worried that she's going to get railroaded for the Digitalis scenario. So he's staying in town. Jamie Francis crushed this week with her. The emotional reaction she had to seeing Lulu was so genuine and impressive. I loved it.
It was great.
I need to see Tracy see Lulu. I can't believe we didn't get that this week, but parse it out a little bit.
Maybe it happened at the non-Quartermain Thanksgiving we didn't see. Let's talk about that because I want to rant about that.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the 30-year anniversary of the Quartermain Curse.
1994. Quartermain Curse. This is
really, you could not come up with something for Thanksgiving this year. Come on.
I thought that the best thing they could have done for the Quartermain Thanksgiving ruining would have been for Michael and Drew to fight. For a lot of stuff to come out, or even for Curtis to come in and accuse
missed
Drew.
Opportunity. There's so many things you could have done, and
a million things. Lulu could have showed up at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking that it wasn't included. I mean, it really was.
We have traditions on General Hospital, right? We have the nurses' ball, which they skipped this year. We have Thanksgiving. The Quartermains don't get to eat turkey, which they should never. Lila cursed them. They will never eat turkey. And then Christmas is when they read the Christmas story. And if we're lucky, Lisa Obrecht will come back as the Krampus. But we haven't gotten any of our traditions this year. It sucks. It sucks. It ruins your Thanksgiving if you've been watching since the 90s.
So on Thanksgiving, I watched old episodes of GH Thanksgiving because I was so upset because I had a feeling that they weren't going to do Thanksgiving.
What is your out of which ones? What year was your favorite year for Thanksgiving?
I like 94, of course, 97, 2012, 2006.
You have to say why though. You can't just be yelling numbers.
Oh, well, okay, true. We don't always know. Well, 1994, of course, was the beginning of the Quartermain Curse.
Annabelle ate the turkey.
Yeah, 97 was when Tracy hired those guys to steal from the Quartermaines, and they were like giving them things.
Yes, the Quartermaines were robbed on Thanksgiving.
Yes. 2006. I was Courtney's little breakdown.
Oh, Courtney had a complete mental breakdown and was living in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
And at the end, when she was awake, she actually threw the turkey into the fireplace because she thought she was still in her delusion.
Exactly. Yes, that was a great one. And 2012, because Edward had just passed away, AJ just came back, and Heather Weber was on the loose, and that was
fun. Heather Weber was at the height of her insanity.
Yeah.
And she had been married. She had been briefly married to Edward. So she thought she was in the will. So she broke in and trashed the place. It was really impressive.
I still hear her say, "I know something the Quartermaines don't know."
You can find these if you go on YouTube. You can, a lot of times you can find Thanksgiving episodes. But one thing about 1994 you do have to remember is that that's when Lucy gets the duck Sigmund, which is a huge part of Port Charles and a huge part of General Hospital.
Yeah,
I love that little duck. I love that little duck.
So the last time they skipped over Thanksgiving was 1998. So that was
why in 1998. Do you know?
I don't know. They skipped over it because
something happening in 1998.
When we were trying to find episodes to watch for Patreon in 1998, it didn't happen. So that was the last time it didn't happen.
I don't like that it didn't happen.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, I feel like the traditions that some of these soaps have and some TV shows have are like a big part of it. Every year, Friends would do a Thanksgiving episode, and it was a big event.
They did.
And I think General Hospital needs to continue doing their traditions. If you want to break the Quartermaine curse, right, so they can have turkey, you have to do something insane to break that curse.
You got to do it right, too.
Right. You can't just have them just sitting there eating turkey and be like, this is great. Unless, of course, they ate that turkey and they all got food poisoning because they're not allowed to have turkey on Thanksgiving.
That would be fun. I would love that.
We didn't even get the song.
Yeah.
Ned's there. We don't get them
to get the song. Nothing.
Garbage.
Very sad. Very disappointing, GH. We still love the show, but we're very disappointed.
Oh, no, I absolutely adore the show. And I do that the 3 episodes they did for Thanksgiving week were a gift. But I'm wondering if because of episodes moving around and stuff, they just skipped it because things couldn't line up. But at the same time, I don't think they should have. And in fact, if they wanted to do Thanksgiving next week, I'll forgive them.
Yeah, if it's a late Thanksgiving, I'm on board.
General Hospital, one day is 6 weeks or one day is 10 minutes. It's a soap.
Yes. All right, so we have a couple more things to talk about. Lois and the Deceptor, and our lady from the old neighborhood calling in, and
which is just Lois doing a voice, I think.
It really sounded like her, didn't it?
Unless they all sound like Lois in that town, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I forget her name. Do you remember the lady's name on the phone?
No, Francine or something. Franny
from Bensonhurst, and she was hounding Lois about being ashamed of her accent, and then Lois turns it around and uses it to sell the cosmetics through the roof sales, which was awesome. I
liked this because the whole thing with the vocal coach was stupid. I love Lois's accent. I'm glad it's back.
I like that. So I'm glad they turned it around and did this for sure.
Yeah, nobody liked it.
No.
We hate change on General Hospital. We're like, Lois Cirillo has a crazy accent and giant acrylic nails, and she may never not, you know? And it's like the poor.
Yeah.
And we're like, keep it up.
Right. Yeah.
We let Mac lose his accent, but he had to lose it very slowly over a decade.
And it still came out, and we heard a little. We were watching '93 not too long ago, and we heard it, and we're like, "Wait, is that an Australian accent?"
Shut your mouth! I love John J. York's little Australian accent.
No, I like it.
I will fight you. I love it.
It's just funny because you don't hear it that often.
He still says "mate" every once in a while.
Yeah.
They asked him about his accent one time. Robert did. Robert gave him a hard time, and he was like, "What'd you lose the accent for?" And he goes, "It was pretentious."
Oh, they did bring it up. Okay.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I thought it just kind of went away.
It did kind of slowly fade away, but not for Robert. Never.
Yeah. Okay, so last thing I want to talk about is Portia and Brad. And Lucas is going to a doctor's conference in Miami, and Brad overhears this and wants to go. and he says there's some type of seminar that would help him with his work, and he wants to go to. And he asks Portia, and Portia is, of course, a total bitch, as she normally is.
Portia hates Brad.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not going to do him
But
any
I do,
favors.
and you know what? Stella comes to the rescue,
Mhm.
which I loved, and she kind of lets Portia know, I'm doing this for you, but maybe you should be impartial when you're talking to your staff. Maybe you
Well,
should.
two things.
Yeah.
One, Stella has been talking with Brad about how to clean up his image,
Yes.
and she's
Yeah.
like, "Do the good work for the good work. Stop messing with Portia, and
Hmm.
just do your job and do it for you. Become a better person for you." And
Hmm.
Brad took that to heart.
You did.
And then to Portia, she said, "Yeah, we know you hate Brad. You don't hide it, and you're a boss, and you can't be acting like this.
And I
So
love
stop it." And
it.
that kind of got through to Portia a little bit,
Yeah. Hmm.
maybe.
Yeah. I'm glad someone put her in her place, and she needed to hear it because she's not a good administrator, especially in terms
I
of in
don't
terms
know
of
if
how
she's
she
a
delivers
bad
things.
administrator just because she
Absolutely
hates
not.
Brad.
Well, in terms of her delivery of things, she's not a good administrator.
No, she's the perfect administrator because she just goes to Terry and they divide up the work. And she goes, "Terry, deliver all this good news." And Terry goes, "Great." And then she goes, "What about you, Portia? What are you delivering?" And Portia's like, "Bad news. I love giving bad news. I'm gonna go tell people their family members are dead." And then she cheers for herself. I don't know what they're doing with Portia.
Hmm. Yeah,
I love Portia, the actress who plays Portia. She's so pretty and she's so good. Make her a villain. Let her be a villain. Go full crazy
I
villain.
would love for her to see her as a villain, to be honest.
I think if she had a villain arc, if she was like a serial, I don't want to lose her though, so I don't want her to be a serial killer. But like if she was secretly killing people and she got away with it for a long time, I'd be on board for that. She's great. We
Hmm.
don't have a nut job anymore. Heather has left. Kevin's brother's
Hmm.
dead.
Yeah, we don't. We need someone. We need a good villain.
It's
Not.
not going to be Drew because he just,
I don't
he
think
just
Drew's on his way to DC. So you know,
yeah.
January, whatever. He'll be in
Oh,
DC.
that's one thing we can't skip is that they brought it up to Drew, the idea of everyone staying in the house.
They did.
And Drew was like, if Jason moves into the house, I'm taking Scout with me to DC because I
Hmm.
don't want her anywhere near you.
Yes.
And all the other fathers were making concessions to keep the children together, and he won't.
Yeah, that was annoying. Very Drew, though. I was not on board with that. But yeah. So, did you have anything to add, or anybody, or anything I missed?
I'm trying to think if we missed anything. I loved the fact that Cody likes certain taffies and keeps
Oh,
them
that
in
was
his
cute. Yeah.
car. That was really cute. I love that. I think I love the little details that they do. I loved that that Lulu realized why her nails were so good was because of Maxie doing her
Um,
nails in the
I,
while she was in the
that was
coma.
cute. Yes.
I also love that Maxie threw a fit that they had not brought Lulu directly to her because she is in fact her best friend and should have been thought of first.
I cannot wait to see the two of them together. I'm so excited for that.
I also love the whole thing with how Maxie didn't believe James, but Spinelli did, and they looked into it. I
That
loved
was
all of
great.
that.
That was great. So good.
Also, that James's first thing every time is like, "Well, we'll just call Uncle Mac and he'll fix it. We'll call Grandpa Mac and he'll fix it." And she's just like, "We're not going to bother him for nothing." And then he was like, "Oh, well, can I eat all the cookies in the kitchen?" And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead."
This kid is great. I love this kid.
Every time he's on, he's such a joy. Like he's such a
And
joy. He's so
he
good.
looks like Nathan. He looks like his dad.
A little bit, yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah.
But he really looks like them. He looks like
Both of
that
them.
family. Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks like them.
Great casting. Like really
Yeah.
good casting.
He's so clever. I need to see him more
Mhm.
often. I know child actors can't work that often, but with Christmas coming up, I'm hoping to see him and Georgie a little bit more.
And Georgie looks like Georgie. Like I love that too.
She does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's everything. I really did like that Liz was weirded out by how easily her and Lucky started connecting because she's just like, he's here for me. You know?
Right? Yeah, there were so many good things in the last week and a half for sure.
I think having Lucky on has revitalized Liz. I think
Yes, and
it's
Liz needs to
probably
be
fun.
revitalized.
Yeah, they worked together when they were kids. It's probably a whole lot of fun to have him
And
back on
now
the
I know
show.
why they got rid of Finn because they needed to bring Lucky back in. So even though I
I
miss
think they got rid of Finn because they didn't know what to do with him after they killed
him,
off Gregory.
mhm.
They could have very easily transitioned him into a hospital storyline, which, they brought on Lucas. Now Lucas is basically doing what Finn would have done.
That's
So
true.
I like Lucas, so I'm not sad that he's there.
No, me either.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Karen and I are going to head over to Patreon for some speculation, and we also have a clip of the week to watch. So please join us for that, and we will see you back next week. Thank you so much.